So the poor then, the poor were your criminals. They were the unemployed. They were prostitutes, which unfortunately was often a line of work that women had to go into, or they'd be forced on the streets or to starve. So your poor were your very sort of lowest of the low. Now, an Inspector Calls is a play essentially about social class, and it's really important to understand the different classes. The video that you've just watched should give you an idea about what life was like for those different examples of the class. So you may well want to pause the video and just get this slide written down. So what I'd like you to do is write an explanation for your own notes, your own revision. Write an explanation of what you have learned about the class system in 1912. So use all of the notes that you've made in the lessons so far, and in your explanation include how life was different for each of the different classes. So you might want to do, 3 short paragraphs, one on the upper class, one on the middle class, and then talk about upper middle and lower middle class, and then one on the sort of working class and poor. Okay, now remember, you don't need to send this to me or your class teacher. It's only your independent work at the end of the week you need to send to us. But obviously, if you want to send anything to us, you want our feedback, you're more than welcome to do so as well. Okay, so you can pause the video and write your explanations now. So our final feedback then, what examples do we have of the privileges of the upper and the middle class? So what examples of the way the upper middle class and the aristocrats lived, what examples of privilege have you learnt about today? And just a bit of information recall, what were the 2 ways that you could become an aristocrat? So you can pause the video and answer those questions. So as you know, tomorrow is your independent work day. And what I'm going to ask you to do is actually create a set design for an Inspector Calls. So we're just going to read the last little bit of the Stoge Directions that we didn't read on Monday's lesson, and then I'm going to explain this task a little bit more, okay? So if a realistic set is used, then it should be swung back as it was in the production at the New Theatre. By doing this, you can have the dining table centre downstage during Act 1 when it is needed there, and then swinging back can reveal the fireplace for Act 2, and then for Act 3 can show a small table with a telephone on it, downstage of the fireplace. And by this time, the dining table and chairs have moved well upstage. Producers who wish to avoid this tricky business, which involves 2 resettings of the scene and some very accurate adjustments of the extra flats necessary, would be well advised to dispense with an ordinary realistic set, if only because the dining table becomes a nuisance. In the beginning, the lighting should be pink and intimate until the inspector arrives, and then it should be brighter and harder. So we can see then that it tells you some things that you need. You need the dining table, which they're all sitting around. You need to make it, we know that we're in the drawing room of this expensive upper middle class house. We know that there needs to be a fireplace for Act 2, and there needs to be a small table with a telephone on it for Act 3. So there's just some details there. So what you should include in your set design is decor, so how it's decorated, furniture, what furniture they'd have, any props, so think about the champagne glasses, port, cigars, cigarettes, costume, some costume designs, but also the lighting. So they talk about how at the start it's very pink, very intimate, but then the lighting changes to being very harsh, almost like a police spotlight or interrogation spotlight when the inspector arrives. So how could you do this then? You could simply get a piece of paper and draw your set design, okay? It could be an aerial view as if you're looking down on top of the stage, or it could be as if you were standing in front of the stage. You could do it on the computer. If there is particular software, you will be far more knowledgeable than me. If there is particular software on the computer or program that you could use and you wanted to design it online, then great, go for that as well. Equally, if you want to go full sort of Blue Peter, you could actually create it, you know, use cardboard, get a cardboard box, actually create your own set. Now, that is totally up to you. If you want to do something that is an actual physical set, then I would love to see it and love for you to bring it in so I can display when we come back. So just to clarify, in your lesson tomorrow, I want you to use the Stoge Directions to create your own set design of an spectacles. This can be drawn, this can be on the computer, or you could actually physically make the set out of cardboard or whatever you might want to do. Depends if you're in the mood for a creative project or not. You could paint it and make it look beautiful if you are a art lover. You could, you know, draw me, paint me, sketch, whatever it is that you want, but I want you to do your own set design. What I would like is also some annotations, some notes about why you have decided to create the set like that. How does that set link to the Stoge Directions? Okay, so what you then need to do is send me a picture of your set design. Okay, so as always, any questions, let your class teacher know and we will help you if you need any details clarified. Don't worry if you don't have the right materials. A sketch with pencil on a piece of paper will be absolutely sufficient. Okay, so don't worry if you don't have the materials to do some sort of big set design in a cardboard box. It doesn't matter. Okay, see you soon.